Mori ore te whānau, no mai hoki mai, welcome back to the Practice Run, your frontline pass to the heart of sports action, brought to you by 99 Dreams, inspiring others to chase their dreams. With your host, Rawiri, Tukoherangi, and sometimes Brother Vincent, we're diving deep into the thrilling world of the NRL and rugby league today, and who knows where the game will take us tomorrow. From the try line to the sideline, we've got you covered.
So strap in as we tackle the big plays, the game-changing moments, and the stories that define legends. Whether you're a seasoned vet or this is your first hit-up, the Practice Run is for everyone. Every run, every tackle, every win. Experience the rush with us.
With exclusive insights, couch analysis, and a touch of humour, the Practice Run is here to keep you entertained, informed, and part of our practice squad. Because here, every practice run takes us one step closer to glory.
The Practice Squad, where every listener is MVP, powering our play every episode, every day.
And a huge mihi out to 99 Dreams for powering our passion. Our big sponsors. I'm ripping one of their jerseys over here with the patch. It's so clean, it's so fresh. We've got the paw tie looking fresh as ever. So you go check that out at 99dreams.co.nz. Now let's check out the show for today on the Practice Run. It looks a little bit like this. You know it's Tuesday, so you know it's a weekend in review. We check out all the games from round 10, going from Thursday through to Sunday, then following that up with a bit of a power ranking and a team of the week, because I know you like to know who's on team of the week each week. But hey, look, if we missed your favorite player and you think they had a great game this weekend, let us know down below in the comments. And remember, you're listening to the Practice Run. But before we get into any of that, man, you know what we do. You know what we do here on the Practice Run. How confident are you today, brother?
I finally broke your streak last time, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not overly.
Hey, maybe you start up your streak of your own.
Let's go.
But here we go, Fano. So for those of you who don't know what we do every week, every episode, we rock it off with a paper, scissors, rock. It just goes as you do. 1, 2, 3, shoot. And you throw a paper, a scissors, or a rock. I don't need to explain what beats what, but here we go. 3, 2, 1, shoot. And up.
I didn't feel that at all, eh? I was like second guessing myself the whole time. When I threw it, I was like, nah, change it. And I was like, too late, man. Too bloody late.
Because you threw scissors last time, because I went paper on Thursday. And I knew in my head I should have went rock. So this week, start off with rock.
I don't even know what I was thinking with that. I didn't believe you had me from the start on that one.
I psyched you out at the beginning either. How do you feel?
I just didn't have it at all. Head was all over the place. I was never winning that one.
Hey, hey, Fano, if you ever see us out in public, do challenge us to a bit of a paper, scissors, rock. We'll try to keep tally of the games we lose in the public until it gets like too much, and then I'll just forget and I'll spot, gee, I lost another game. Lol. But anyway, bro, before we kick off the show, man, how you been? How was your weekend? What did you get up to?
What did I get up to on the weekend? I caught up with one of the bros who I haven't seen in ages, so it was always good to see him. Catch up on that, catch up on life and all that. But finished my first week at BFT as a trainer there. It was all good. But man, the days are getting long now, eh? Like, I'm going to have to figure out what time I'm training, because I try to go back to 5 a.m, but, getting up at 4:30 a.m. to go to the gym, come home, breakfast, full day of mahi to then go back to coach. I'm getting home at just after 7, then got to cook dinner. By the time it's had a shower and all that, it's only 8:30, but I'm just drained. On nights where, I've got other things on, the next day, it's a rough day. So still trying to figure things out, but all in all, mahi's good. It's not doing too bad, eh? Kind of slowly getting back in the flow of things. Yeah. What about you, bro? Get up to anything?
Me? Yeah, I did. I was going to say one thing. Before I moved to Dunedin, I did some work as a PT. You find it hard to balance your own workouts in with training other people, because you give so much energy to other people to get them hyped up to do their workout that when it actually comes to doing your own, you're just so flat and fatigued that it's just like, ugh. And even if you train beforehand, it means that, yeah, like you said, you got to get up a lot earlier, and then you've got to figure out how to reserve your energy throughout the day. It's a mission, man. I don't know how you're going to juggle it. I struggle. That's why I studied. But nah, look, what I've been up to, I got my bike fixed on Friday. The last few parts arrived during the week, so the bike is fixed, it's up and running. I don't quite have the fairing fixed, which is, for those who don't ride, it's just the bodywork, the plastic stuff on the outside. But that doesn't affect me being able to ride. And man, you could, like, I couldn't contain the happiness. Like, if you've seen me, you just would have seen just a huge smile beneath the mask, man. It was just so good to be back out there on the two wheels. I didn't realize like how much I'd missed being on my bike until I just had no choice but to get it fixed, and then I couldn't ride it. And so now just being able to be back on the bike for the first time in a long time, yeah, man, I love it. I love riding my motorbike. I will be getting some content out there, maybe next week, possibly, or this week if we're lucky. I'm just sorting out getting my helmet set up, but yeah, bike's back up and running, so we'll get some content. I don't know what I'm going to do on the bike in terms of like how I'm going to record content or what kind of content we're going to produce, but stay tuned. We'll see something like that over on my personal channel. Hopefully use that to try and bring traffic over here so we can get some sponsorship and some I don't know, some goodies, man. This is what we need. We deserve it, man. We've been putting in some money. I think we're almost up to episode 30 for those tuning in each week. Thank you all so much. We truly do appreciate you guys here at the Practice Run. Y'all are the real MVPs. And when we do get a Patreon set up and everything, let us know who you guys are so we can, like, seriously, we want to hook you guys up when, you know, that time comes that one day we get miracle sponsors. But before we move on to weekend reviews, we thought we'd give our predictions on the upcoming State of Origin games. For those of you in America and Germany, Britain, Spain, that have just tuned in and you're not quite sure what State of Origin is. State of Origin is, they call it the pinnacle of rugby league. It's, how would I explain it? Because we already have an all-star game. How would you explain it to? I'm at a loss of words. How would we explain what Origin is? Yeah, in terms of like for our international audience.
You kind of said it before, it's like the pinnacle of rugby. It would be like, it's probably also like the biggest spectacle we have in terms of rugby league. So if I had to compare it to anything, maybe not quite on the level of the Super Bowl. Maybe Champions League? Like football? Okay. It's just, you got pretty much, I'd say arguably two of the best teams in the world competing in a 3-game series, so it kind of like normally more often than not the better team will win and come away with the series, but it's the hardest hits, it's the roughest, toughest game. You've got the best of the best going against each other, and I think it brings out the best. The intensity level, if I had to compare it to something, I'd say I would compare it to a Game 7 in an NBA final. Like, everything's hanging on knife's edge. Like, games are decided but by the finest of margins. Could be one mistake, that's all it takes. They're not like, very rarely other games are scoring fest. They're more defensive minded. But that just is because there's so much on the line. Yeah, so much on the line. Or even
like a Game 6 to get it to a Game 7.
Yeah. It's just the pinnacle of the NRL rugby league. I'd say the best game that you're gonna see, and it's times it can be carnage, but man, it's such a beautiful game, and it's the one time I think us on this side of the ditch don't mind cheering for the Aussies, and we almost like become one or the other. You know, like there's no switching sides with State of Origin. You're either one or the other, and it's the one time as, you know, an Aotearoa person is allowed to celebrate and cheer for the Aussie team. Yeah. But that's it.
That is true.
That's all they
I
get.
do wish I had my New South jersey on, but there is a disclaimer. I'm going to switch sides this season. If James Tedesco gets picked again, I'm switching sides. I ain't coming back. I'm sick of him. I'm done with him. I'm sick of him. And just for those new to State of Origin or to rugby league in general, so the way this works is the two teams are drafted from the best players born in either Queensland, Australia, or New South Wales, Australia. They're two interconnecting borders. For those in the US, kind of like drafting from New York or California. Those who were born in those states or before their 13th birthday lived and were registered. I think you have to be a resident in Australia before your 13th birthday, and then you are eligible to play for New South Wales. And if you move from, obviously, New Zealand, Samoa, or somewhere, it's where you played your first club game, and then you're able to go and choose your side. So, with that in mind, we've drafted our teams, New South Wales and Queensland, based on the eligible players for each team. I think Queensland are on a 2-year victory streak at the moment. They've won the last 2.
Yes, 2. Yeah, I don't think it's been 3. Yeah, 2 sounds right to me. Yeah.
Yeah, and I bet you if I switch this season, New South will probably win. But also, I stayed so faithful to New South when we went through that 10-year period where we just couldn't buy a win. We managed to break it up, I think, in year 9, where we stopped them. They went 8 in a row, and then we won, and then they went on and won like 3 more after that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I stood, faithful, loyal to the team throughout that period. I feel like if they pick James Tedesco once more, I'm done. I'm going maroon. Why? Because all my Broncos players play for Queensland anyway, so it wouldn't really matter too much. I'd still be supporting all my boys. So, did you have the list written down as well? Or do you just want me to read these, and then we'll just talk about them after?
Yeah, I'd say you just read them off, and then we can yarn about them.
Easy. Well, we'll start with Queensland. Well, who do you support? Are you New South?
Yeah, that's where my Bulldogs predominantly play for.
Yeah,
not saying that I don't like players for the Maroons. I really tend to go for the underdog. So, like, when the Maroons were dominant, I was rooting for New South Wales just because I was like, oh man, it'd be cool to see them win. And then, even when New South had that little dominant period where they won like 2 in a row, I low-key went for the Maroons. I don't know, like, why, but yeah, I don't know. I couldn't tell you why.
I love how, like, our dominant period was 2 years. like 2 or 3 years like that. That was our window.
Yeah.
And now we're back to mediocrity. It's all because of James Tedesco, I'm telling you. Hopefully the new coach turns things around. But here we go. For Queensland, at fullback, we've got the electrifying Reece Walsh, who's too electric not to be on this team. However, had Kalen Ponga stayed injury-free, there would have been a positional battle and a debate that would have been had, and it would have been interesting to see who Billy would have picked. On the wings, slightly controversial, but this is how we're going. We're going with Val Holmes and Xavier Coates. We put Holmes on the wing instead of Cobbo just because Cobbo's having a fantastic season this year in the centres. So I thought, why not keep him playing in the centres? It's his preferred position. We've got Val Holmes on the wing because the team needs a kicker. And Val Holmes has been one of the most consistent so far this season for the players that have been named to our Queensland side. In the halves, we've got Cam Munster, who's finding some form, coming back from that injury, and Daly Cherry Evans, the man who just ages like fine wine. I'd call him at like not GOAT level like Tom Brady, but in terms of his longevity, definitely Tom Brady, LeBron-esque. Our props, what's his first name? No, that is his first name. Lindsay Collins. I just put like one name there. I was like, Lindsay, this is his last name? No, his first name. Lindsay Collins and Ruben Cotter. at the prop positions. I know Cotter normally plays lock, but hey, it's through the middle. I'm sure he'll get a lot of mahi done through there. Harry Grant, we've named him to start. We do have Ben Hunt on the bench, but we probably think Grant could play the 480. In the second row, we've got David Fafita. And what's his name? What's his first name?
Jeremiah.
Nunai. Yeah. Jeremiah Nunai. There we go. It ain't Nene and it ain't Nene. It's Nunai. So get that right, whānau. And then at 13, we've got none other than the rock solid Patrick Carrigan. That's his new nickname. We just come up with it this week. Rock solid. That's what he is, man. He's rock solid. Yeah, Paddy Carrigan, rock solid. On the bench at 14, we do have the Ben Hunt. Just great utility to have. Can play in the halves, obviously, but he can fill in for Harry Grant at hooker. Then we've got Jaden Sewer, Jermaine Hopgood, and Christian Welch. Is his name spelt like grape, that Welch grape juice?
I wouldn't have a clue. Welch?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's that grape juice. Welch's grape juice. Yeah. Fun fact anyway. I digress. And then 18th man, Tom Dearden. That is our Queensland side. How did we land on some of those players? Like, what are your thoughts behind why we named the team?
Honestly, I feel like when it comes to Queensland, the team kind of selects itself, most of it. The halves, it's pretty stock standard, been there, done that, and they just know how to get the job done for their state. You can't deny West Welsh. If Ponga was there, would have been a good argument, but he's just too electrifying. Paddy Carrigan, of course, who we think's the most informed player. You know, I mean, if you listen to our podcast, you know how we feel about him. That was an easy decision. They did seem a bit light in the props. There's probably one position where we were kind of had to discuss. You know, there's no Tino. 9-year Tino's obviously out for the whole year. Flegler, we're not too sure how he's doing with his injury, whether he'll be back in time or not. So two key players that probably, if healthy, would be there, but, you know, you got to play with what you got.
Yeah, well, I think Flegler would have pushed Cotter to the bench 100%, and Cotter would have been that sort of flex role. He would have come in off the bench as prop or in the second row or lock. And then Welch would have covered Lindsay's prop position had he been there. And obviously Tino would have been starting as well. Probably Tino and Lindsay, and then Cotter and Flegler off the bench, or Tino and Flegler. But yeah, two big names there. That's a huge loss for Queensland.
Sua kind of came in. I think he's been playing well enough to get another shot. Like his form's been really, really good
season this year.
Yeah, and how the Dragons have been going, he deserves it. But again, I think with those injuries, makes it just a little bit easier. The Valentine Holmes one, again, him and Cobbo. I mean, I think they just have to be in the team. Cobbo's too good. I think he deserves it now. But yeah, it was just Valentine's got the nod because of his kicking. If he's not kicking, then I don't think he makes the team, which would then fall on Welsh to be the kicker. But, I mean, Valentine Holmes, he's a good kicker. You know, he's up there with the best of them. And you need him. And he's been there, done that. He's been in Origin for ages. So, yeah, that's pretty much why. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say on the team, bro. Few people, they were unlucky to not make it. I'd say Sam Walker and Ezra Mann.
Oh yeah,
I really like how Mann's been going this year. He's been one of my favorite players to watch.
Both are still super young, and you know that could definitely be a halves pairing for the future.
Yeah, I do potentially see that as, you know, the 7 and 6 going forward. I think Tommy Dearden might have something to say about it, but I'd be looking at it might be those three once DCE and Munster either leave, or if they're just playing too well where, you know, those two just don't make it anymore. It happens. Crazy to think they were all in the Broncos, right? Sam Walker was a Bronco before he went to the Roosters, was he?
I was about to
Yep.
say, him, Mam, Walsh, they've already got Walker, sorry,
Yeah.
already have a great combination together.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something to look forward to as they move toward the future. I'm pretty sure Sam played juniors with Ezra.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that because Dearden's a little bit older than both of them, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Because he had that 1 year with you guys, his rookie year, or did
Yeah.
he have two?
Nah, I think he had 2 years.
Yeah. But he wasn't going so well, eh? Because that was the
Yeah,
wooden spoon year you guys had. Bro,
because it
someone
was
showed me someone put up the team of that year that you guys won the wooden spoon. And it's such a ridiculous team, but it was like everyone was just at the wrong time, like
just super young.
yeah, it was like they were either too young or too old. It was
Yeah,
just, you put
yeah.
them in their prime and you'll be like, fuck, that team's
It,
not just contending, they might
it
just be
was a
favourites to win it.
yeah, it was a
Yeah,
really weird transition
yeah,
period for us,
yeah.
and
It was just
it
the
was super.
wrong time, man. Like great players, just all at the wrong time. It was crazy to
Yes.
see that list. I wonder if I can find it. Never know.
So Dearden was with us for 3 years, from 2019 through to 2021. Played a total of 22 games and lost 18 of those 22 games.
Ooh, that's tough.
Yeah, and in 2020, every game he played, he never won.
Never won. Ah, man.
Yeah, yeah. So, hey, but like, good on him. He's having a great year this year. He's doing bits, and he's on the up and up, and is definitely on par to potentially get an Origin call up. We've got him as 18th man on our lineup. So yeah, yeah. Well, because Fafita was on that Broncos side too.
Yeah. I can't be bothered looking into it. Thought I
Ah,
could
it's all
find it
good. I'm
quite
pretty sure it was
quickly.
2020,
Oh well.
2019 or 2020, one of the two. But anyway, that's our Queensland lineup. I think, yeah, had they had the option to choose, Flegler, Tenya Tino, would have changed the whole dynamic. Tino is a game changer. He's an Origin player, fearless, ruthless, and can get under your skin with a few big hits. New South Wales, interesting. This one, interesting. So both teams have suffered injuries, just in different positions. We'll get to that now. Also, this is New South Wales, no Tedesco. All right. At fullback, we've got the most consistent fullback this season, and rightly so, the leader of the Deli M board currently, Dylan Edwards. He's been unfortunate to not have been picked up these past couple of years. How can you not select the, 3-time grand final champion? How can you not select? How many times has he won the medal? Who is it? Clive
Oh, he
Churchill or
won
someone?
it. Yeah, he's won it once. I think Nathan got it the other two times. Yeah.
There we go. How much has Tedesco got it? Twice or once?
You would assume once, but the
Yeah,
first
I'm
one
pretty
they
sure.
won, it went to Whiten got it. Remember the one against Canberra? Yeah, because Jared apparently was going to win it, but then they gave it to Jack Whiten. And in the following year, I can't remember who they beat in that final. The one when they went back to back. Oh, they beat Storm, right?
I think so.
I couldn't tell you who won the thing in that
Nah,
one. Couldn't tell you at all.
no idea. But anyway, Dylan Edwards been so hard done by not to be an Origin already. He's our smoky for what is it? First Origin selection this year. So good luck to the bro. On the wings, we've got the ever consistent at number 5, Brian To'o. Just that name alone just solidifies his spot. The other winger is Zach Lomax. Zach want to be a centre Lomax. He's probably one of the best wingers in the comp at the moment,
Yeah.
and his kicking ability is something that may be needed on this team the way it stands. So he's in this team. Our centers look like this. We got Bradman Best and Critter teaming back up with his breather, Brian Tall. There's a combination to look out for, man. Those two, when they're together, deadly. Critter has a hit up, Tall has a hit up, or vice versa. And those two, man, they make some meters. Whoo-wee. Then in the halves look like this. We've got Luke Carey at the 6. And then we've got maybe Nico Hines if he's healthy. Maybe Mitchell Moses if he's healthy. We'll get back to if they're not healthy in a minute. But it's one of those two, hopefully. If not, we'll find out. At props, we've got Jake Travojevic and Payne Haas, our hooking combination. If Hines is starting, it's, what's his first name? Braden Brayley, eh? Blake Brayley, there we go. Just making up names for all these
I'm pretty
players.
sure Blake Brayley, yeah.
Blake Brayley.
If
that's if Nico Hines is starting. If Mitchell Moses is starting, we've got Reese Robson from the Cowboys, who is having a great season. Angus Crichton has forced his way into this team with his scintillating form as of late. And then pairing up with him is the barnstorming Liam Martin. Is Liam Martin healthy? I haven't even checked on that. Is he healthy? Is he good to go?
Yeah, I don't think he was on any of the injury lists that I looked up earlier. So I'm pretty sure he is good to go. But yes, I will double check that.
And at 13, Isaiah Isaiah Yo. He is holding down that lock position. At 14, we've gone to match Queensland's double hooker combination. We've got Brayley and Robson. So while we couldn't figure out who was starting, depending on which half, well, we've got the other one on the bench, Kapai Whānau. We're going to try and match that intensity that Queensland bring with those two. 15, 16, 17, we've got Ulukwatu Stefano. How do I say his last name? Utkaimano or something like that, eh?
Yep, good enough.
Hold on. I want to get this right. It is Utoi Kamanu. There we go. Utoi Kamanu. Stefano. He is on the bench. And we've also got Terrell May, hopefully making his debut. He's had a great season with the Roosters so far. Minutes have been mismanaged, but every minute he gets out there, he is devastating. And at 18th man, we've got another utility for New South Wales. We've got Matt Burton, who can play at the 6 or he can play at the 3 and 4. And his kicking game adds an extra element to what could be a New South Wales arsenal. Now, before we get your opinion on this team, we'll get your opinion and then we'll dive into the what if. What's your thoughts on this team and why did we pick it the way we selected it? If, you and I were the coach of the Blues, why did we select this particular team?
It feels like the winds of change have arrived. New coach, so why not try something new and just see how it goes? I mean, I think it's Dylan Edwards. You just can't deny him. I know Tedesco, people talking about him. He's done great for State of Origin, and Origin's different. I get all that, but I'm with you, man. At what point do you just call it? This dude's been the most consistent fullback for the last few years now. He's done it all, and he's still getting better. I feel as though if you keep waiting, you might miss his prime, and by the time he finally gets a shot, it's going to be a little bit too late. At least for game one. Why not give him a shot in game one, see how it goes, and then if it doesn't work out, make an adjustment. But honestly, I just think it's time. Lomax, he gets there because of his form. It's hard to ignore. He had a few quiet weeks, but feels like he's coming back around. And again, you want to see what people made on that Origin stage. Give him a shot.
Well, I think, like you said, with Lomax, the past few weeks he's been playing centre. We all know he's a better winger. So last week he had a great game out there on the wing. Hence why he's on our team on the wing.
Yeah, right. and he still wants to be a centre, which blows my mind. The front row, Paynehouse, Javorovich, Isaiah Yeo. I think that doesn't really need to be explained. Angus Crichton, one of the hottest players in the comp right now, has to be in the team. Liam Martin or Mini Brock. He's just a devastating runner. The bench is looking good. I hope Terrell May gets a debut. And yeah, man, it's just why not bring all these guys in now and just see how it goes. If it goes wrong, you can always bring back the Teddy, of the world. If everyone's wondering where the likes of Latrell Mitchell is, where Jack Wyden is, I mean,
at the bottom of the ladder, where they are.
I just don't see how you can select people that teams running pretty much dead last. I get that classy players. I think if Jack got picked, he would be great. Not too sure if Latrell even wants to get picked. Seems like he's got a lot going on. So yeah, but it's that centre and the halves. It's just all over the place, revolving door at the moment. You almost want to be wrapped up in cotton wool because it seems like everyone's just getting injured.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it forces that halfbacks or the halves situation is just so crazy. I mean, we could name the 6 or 7 now. We'll kind of have. Who hasn't?
Yeah, because the Warriors have lost both their starting halves from the start of the season. Broncos have lost Reynolds a couple of times. Panthers have lost Cleary. I mean, the Roosters have had injuries to both their halves throughout the season. Fogarty's down. What's his name for the Caesar? He's out.
Aiden Sousa.
Who else?
I think the two teams that come to mind are ones who haven't been affected, or other than actually, is Sea Eagles or Manly. I'm pretty sure they've had DCE and Luke Brooks there. And my Bulldogs, we've had Birdo and Hutchinson each week. Because how do I know that? Because everyone keeps ripping on Hutchison. That's how I know that.
And also the Cowboys. I don't think what's his name, Dearden and Townsend have gone down yet.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and obviously Nico Hines, Mitch Moses, they've now been injured. Munster's been injured.
Yeah.
If you're a half, play centres. But yeah, man. And coming to that, so then that leaves us in this conundrum with our halves pairing for New South Wales. So Hines, Moses, pretend they're both out. We can't select either one of them. Who then do we bring in? Because there's not many sevens in the game at the moment, or at least starting. So who becomes our 6-6 combo? Do we keep Carey? Do we go Luai Carey? Do we go Carey Walker? Do we go Pray Whiten comes back? Do we go Whiten and Carey, or do we go I don't know, man. What do we do?
It's tough because you need someone that can play like on the other side, right? Like most of them are left hand or like left side players. So finding someone that can play both sides or at least is comfortable on the right, I think will play a big part into it.
Burton?
Yeah, Burden. But he's a runner, not an organizer. So you need someone that can control the game for him, and which will just free him up to just kind of run. Obviously, he's got that big boot of his. He kind of puts that away now. I think he put it away because he now knows fullbacks just won't even try catch it. And when that ball bounces, like when he puts up the torpedo, really will they even try to attempt to it? And they'll just let it bounce where it bounces. They're almost willing to take the chance on the bounce as opposed to even trying. Unless you're Edwards, of course, which you just eat that up all day. Yeah, but I think if Moses and Hines aren't there, that kind of wrecks Burden chance, not give him a better chance. Well, that's just how I feel. But I would say Luai would get a shot. I feel he'll come back into the game. Luke Keary, yeah, I could see him being that dominant role. I think what will happen is that you'll see. I think Isaiah Yo will probably go back to passing more if there's not a dominant half there. You'll see him.
So who
Yeah,
would your 6-6 combo be? Well, I say 6-6 because I'm thinking we go 2-5-8s lining up in this one game.
I think we have no choice, but to go like 6-6. Honestly, like, but who would it be? Oh man, Cody Walker. No, he hasn't been playing great.
He hasn't really shown anything. Yeah, I'd pick bloody Lachlan Ilias over Cody Walker at this
He's
point.
been in a funk, eh? Like sometimes those
Yeah.
funks are hard to get out of. Off the top of my head, honestly, it might very well be Kiri Lua.
Yeah, yeah.
Why?
So who then would play the 7 role? Not particularly which side they'd play on, but who'd play the role of like pinpoint kicking, directing the team around the field?
It'd be Kiri. He would be the one, pretty much marshalling the troops, getting them in line. You know, yeah, because he can do it, and there was a point there where he was trending in that way, but he's always been more of a short side raid type of player.
He's got good defense.
Yeah, and he's ridiculously good at it. Yeah, so I'd say Kiri Luai would be the two of those two aren't there. I think if Moses and Hines are both available, then they would be the 7-6.
Yeah, yeah. I was about to say that too.
If I think if Moses is available and Hines isn't, I would like Birdo to get a shot. I feel those should make a killer combo together. But if it's Hines that gets the 7 and Moses out, I would lean more towards Kerry.
Yeah.
As like the combo, yeah. But if they're both out, then yeah, no, I wouldn't have I would probably lean towards Kerry and Luai. But they would be on, I know, just whoever's in form. Honestly, if those two aren't there, I'm going with the two hottest Sixers, the most informed players, and just go, you're in form, try get it done. Right.
Yeah, man, and like crazy you say that because I feel like Lachlan Galvin might get a look in if they purely went off of if you're hot, you're hot. However, he's way too young, and I know how everyone feels about bleeding in someone into Origin when they are way too young. He hasn't even played a full season of NRL, so I understand everyone will probably knock that, but hey, it'll be exciting to see the day he gets the nod. We were talking about Sam Walker, Ezra Mam, the future of Queensland. Well, I think Lachlan Galvin, man, in the future, definitely could be his team. Well, Fano, get back to us. Let us know what you thought of our New South Wales and our Queensland teams. Stay tuned. We'll keep you guys posted anyway about when the actual teams get announced. I'll keep these, and maybe we'll try and tick off how many we get correct and how many we get wrong. Obviously, if any of these players get injured or re-injured, you can't fault us because we can't predict who's getting injured week in and week out. I mean, shit, if I could predict injuries, I'll be putting money on that shit. Although I do know Broncos tend to pick up an injury every week. And speaking about week to week and speaking about injuries, this round was full of them. Who survived this round, round 10? Do you have a list of everyone who got injured this week alone?
Not on this week alone, but let me see what I can do.
While you pull that up, I'll rattle off a quick stat that I found today. Over the seasons 2018 through to 2022, there was on average about 21 hamstring injuries per season. Remember that, per season. This season alone, there's been 20 hamstring injuries already, and we've only just completed round 10. What we want to know is either A, who are the physios, or two, or A or B. B. what's changed about the game this season that we see more hamstring injuries? What is it? Is it athletes fatigued? Is it just the conditions that the fields are in? Is it the boots themselves? Are the boots inadequate this season? Who knows? But yeah, it's something for some scientists to look into. Maybe that's a PhD topic for someone out there who just wants to waste the government's money. Go and do it. Have you found anything yet, Maji?
Oh no, there's just too many of them. If I'm being honest,
Yeah,
and they're kind of mashed into like
yeah.
people that are just injured in general. So yeah, I can't
Yeah.
really give you
We'll
an
keep that
exact
list up, and
number.
then we'll go through that as we get through each different team.
Yeah, watch
All
all
good,
that.
all good. Well, let's kick things off, Fano, with Thursday night. Thursday night football. I, again, thought this was going to be a bit of an average game. I had, again, no hope, but it turned out to be pretty entertaining throughout. We had the Dolphins taking on the Manly Seagulls up there at the home of the Broncos, Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane, and it was a wet one. It was a bit slippery up there, and the Dolphins managed to pull away 30 points to 24. On my multi, I had, what was it, over 47.5 points scored. Dolphins winning. I just needed Jermaine Sarkle to get one try. That's all I needed. Ewan Aitken got a try. Connolly Lemuelu got a try. Trey Fuller got a try. Mark Nichols got a try. The other wing, Jack Bostock, got a try. I should have remembered, though, that Jermaine Sarkle was lining up against Tommy Talol, because Tommy Talol is a he is a pretty decent defensive winger, and he's found some form lately. He managed to fall on a ball and get the first try sorted out for that game. How good has Tommy Talol been? I've been talking about past couple of weeks, especially when it comes to my multis. Anyway, big fan of Tommy Talol, the real Tommy T.
We
Yo.
we talk about what Luke Brooks looks like when he left West Tigers. Tommy T was also a West Tiger player. That's how I knew him, because he was on that team. So we've got two players now, who have left the West Tigers and seem to be blossoming. Who knows, man? I'm just saying.
Man.
Maybe you want to leave. Maybe you want to not go to the Tigers or just leave there and watch your career flourish. Unless you are David Nofaluma, who seemed to can't even crack the starting team in Super League, and apparently hasn't been showing up to training. So it looks like his career is just over.
Well, maybe it was a good thing that they got rid of him at the end of that.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure Tommy Talau was definitely a West Tiger, because I totally remember him from his time there. Yeah.
All right. Well, there we go. There we go. Max Plath having another good season this year. Not this year. Sorry, this game. I can't really fault him lately. The way he's been playing as a rookie, he's just getting out there, rolls up his sleeves, and he does his job, and he does it well. He's not, superstardom. He's not rock solid Patrick Carrigan, but he does a good job. And as a rookie, I definitely can see a bright future for him as long as he stays healthy. Herbie was back, but didn't look 100% out there. He may still be carrying a slight niggle, but he's out there doing his mahi, doing his job. Jermaine Sarkle got locked up by Tommy Talol. Just had the shackles on him, man. They couldn't get anything going down that edge. So they were going through Herbie, Bostock, and they were taking on Saab and Cooler. And they were getting the best of them down that edge, man. It was crazy. Because I think Aitken was on that side. Is it Aitken that's on that side?
Ewan Aitken.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure it was Aitken that was on that side with Bostock and Farnworth. That's how I think that combo was leaking up. And I was quite enjoying watching that combo happen. And I guess that's their Achilles heel at the moment. Well, that and the fact that Tommy Trebojevic got injured. And he's out for how long?
Who is?
Tom?
2 months, it looks like it. Or up to 2 months. So yeah, he could be out.
He's pretty much out for all of Origin, really.
Yeah, it's looking that way.
Right.
It's not looking good.
Yeah.
All I know. Here it is. Let me have a quick look. Scroll down. Round 18
Round
is what
18.
they have as
Okay.
predicted. Comeback time.
Okay. Well, hey, Manly fans will be looking forward to seeing that happen because currently where they stand on the ladder is. Sorry, just waiting for it to load. They are 8th, just above the Bulldogs, and they will be hoping Tommy T returns, or Tommy Turbo returns pretty soon, because the Manly Seagulls haven't been playing too well against teams they should beat comfortably. They sort of let them sneak one there, and they don't have an easy matchup this week, as I believe they take us on in round 10. Up there for Magic Round, is it? It is. On Friday, they take on the Brisbane Broncos, the second game for the Magic Round. So, tune in for that one. Fano, what about you? What were your thoughts on this game, brother?
I don't really have much thought on this game, to be honest. I think I'd pick Manly to win. I thought they were going to bounce back after what happened the week before. And did they bounce back? No, they did not. They started off pretty good, scored a few tries. It looks like they were up with by 26 minutes, 3 tries, 2-1. It was that like 10-minute blitz that just completely switched the game, man. When Dolphins scored those 3 quick tries, it pretty much just flipped it. And
that happened to them 2 weeks in a row now.
Yeah,
the same thing happened against the Raiders.
It's alarming. But I want to know. I want to talk about this new, old, young rookie fullback, Trey Fuller. Is that his name? Fuller?
Yeah, man. Trey Fuller.
Because this is what, second game, third game, however many games at fullback, and he is really, really impressed. So much so that he even is impressing these Deli M voters, because he got the max points from the scam. He got 6 points from this game, which just shows you the impact he's having. And is this the game that he scored that ridiculous? No, wait, let me see. Oh, he did. Was this the one, the chip and chase? This game, eh?
I think so.
Yeah, I want to say this because I remember either you messaged me or one of the bros messaged me. He was like, "Bro, that Trey Fuller guy, did you see that try?" And I was like,
Nah, it's definitely your bro, man. It's definitely one of your bros.
But I think it, but look, seems to be a good player. He's making NRL level rugby look a little bit easy.
He's definitely taking the
I'd
most.
say shout out to the Dolphins. Yeah, right. You have to, man. When your opportunity comes, come with the man, come with the hour. You either ready or you're not. But Dolphins, once again, get the job done. And for a team that I had pinned well outside the top 8, I think I had them locked into like the bottom 4 or 5. They are solidifying themselves in that top 8 position. And I think in only their second season in the comp, I would not be surprised if they are playing playoff football, which is really, really good. And Seagulls, I've never seen a team that's so reliant on one person, Tommy Turbo. Honestly, it's like when he plays and he's outstanding, they're going to win 9 times out of 10. When he doesn't play, I don't even know what to say. They just look like a bottom tier team without him. So we're gonna see what they're like for these next 2 months. Hopefully it goes good. I highly doubt it because the way that they've been playing lately hasn't been that good. And this is a question for you actually? Is this a Seabold thing? Because wasn't it when he came to you guys? When he coached you, his first year was really good, right? You just went to the playoffs, and then the following year it just went down, and then third year, didn't you win the wooden spoon? And then he's out. He got fired.
Yeah, man. That's why I was like, when I seen him pop up at the Eagles, I was like, man, wasn't this guy a bum?
Yeah.
Didn't he ruin the club almost?
And yeah, like his first year last year, they did well. They went to the playoffs, and now I don't know, just like You shouldn't have lost last week. You're up 20-0. NRL team should not be losing like that. Not saying that the
Nah.
Dolphins team this year is different to last year, I'd say that. But still, to let in 3 tries in like 5 minutes and change the game on its head, that's kind of unacceptable. So,
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Twice they've done that.
Yeah.
And it might happen again next week.
Uh,
I'm not
yeah.
saying that in like a very confident way, but I'm just like, Manly really need to do something different, and they need to find ways to not just get that lead and think it's comfortable. They need to find ways to win and grind out wins. I don't actually think they've had like a solid grind out win since that draw versus the Warriors. I'm just about to have a look at their previous
They were on a bit
matchup.
of a roll after that Warriors game. I think they won like 2 in a row then. It's why I
Yeah,
thought
they
they were
did,
so
but
confident in that
it was
Raiders
a
game.
4-point win versus the Titans, which was the Titans could have won
Oh,
that
yeah,
game.
that's
So,
right. Yeah.
and then Eels scored 18 points against them when everyone else was pumping the Eels at that time. And then, yeah, they lost versus the Raiders. Now they've lost versus the Dolphins. So
I
they
don't know.
have been steadily declining
Yeah,
since that
yeah, they have been.
Warriors game. So, yeah, look, lots of questions to be asked here at Manly. In a season where coaches are getting fired, who's next? Stay tuned. But that's all I have to say about Thursday night's game. Let's move over, and I'll hand you the reins as we talk about the Penrith Panthers, who beat the Bulldogs at Bluebet Stadium in Penrith on Friday night.
Yes, so my team played the Standard first game of that Friday, and it was a good game, man. Real back and forth. Felt defensive minded. We were in that game, like, if I'm being honest.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know I was kind of hoping that we would put up a fight and not get smashed, and we did that. We put up a fight. We didn't get smashed. But even after it, I wasn't like over the moon, like, oh yeah, we played well, we'll take it. It is what it is. On to the next one. I was of the feeling like we actually could have won that game. We had moments. I felt we had moments. We couldn't ice them. Where Panthers are so good, you give them a chance, they'll ice
Yeah.
it. That first half, honestly, Nathan Cleary was just on another level. He was well on his way to dominating before he got that injury, which pretty much rules him out of Origin, which is, not cool. I thought Dylan Edwards did Dylan Edwards things. I think I said it in the previous show. If we can stop their back three, we'll have a chance. And if our back three does well, we'll be there or thereabouts. We had moments where we did good against them, but the amount of times where they would start their set like inside the 10 or 20, or like that's where we're kicking it to, and then they're kicking it like they get a attacking kick in on their fifth tackle is just amazing. Like, I had to just give it to them, man. To Edwards, to Ruver, to O, just the platform they lay every week. It's just hard to beat them when they're like that. But I think the last 5 minutes of the first half really cost us. We're a team that we're always gonna go for the short kickoff from was it a goal line dropout, like the dropout? Because Burden, right, he's always gonna kick it short and try go for the regather. What ended up happening was that there was maybe like 2 minutes left to go. We have the dropout. And in my head, I'm thinking, just kick it long because then we'll only have to defend one set. And they might only get like 2 plays inside the 10, maybe 3 inside the 20. Well, we stay true to who we are. He does a short drop off. We don't get the ball. They now have a full set inside our 20, pretty much inside the 10. I think it went 2 plays and they scored. we would have won at halftime 6-0 at halftime. But because of that play, we win in 12-0 halftime. And then which means you pretty much have to score after halftime. They got a penalty. Luckily, they went for the 2 points and not a tap and go. Pushed them out to, I think it was at that point, 14-0. And when you're 14-0 against a team of that quality, it's hard to rein them in. Hard to. Burden scored his try, which I thought he was one of the best for us. I thought Burden, Carrez was really, really good. Kick out, I thought had a solid game, but I think he just tried a little bit too much. Critter looked really good. He looked damaging every time he touched the ball. I wish he got a little bit more. Sam Hughes, I like what I saw from him. Reed was good. I thought our team was good. I don't think anyone had like a real shocking game. Sherry did a few like handling errors, and that's what was kind of the difference. We couldn't ice those moments when we were doing our swing plays, our block plays, from one side of the field to the others. We just couldn't ice it. Penrith, they kind of just do what they do, and I felt like they just grinded us out. And yeah, you're just not going to beat them when they're leading. They're the best front runners in the game, I'd say. Maybe the Sharks might be better than them, but fuck, they are absolutely devastating. So they did deserve the win. We got a late consolation try to make the score look better than what it was, but in saying that, I think to me that's a good reflection of the game. We had our moments. I just think they were a bit too classy, and their class showed out in the end. But yeah, so feel sorry for the boys. That's how I know we're turning the corner, because the talk was like, oh, we're happy with our performance, but like we could have won that game. Like we were in there, we were in the fight. So yeah, I don't think. Yeah, so I think they were pretty gutted, which is good to see, because they definitely were. But yeah, congratulations, Panthers. They're just too good. Super annoying. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got, bro. Yeah.
I feel like I'm a dying record when I say every week, this is such a great platform for the Bulldogs. They're showing consistency. They're showing life every week. Like I said at the early part of the season, they don't look like a horrible team. They just look like they haven't been able to find ways to get the win. And, this is a great example of it. But it shows that the club's turning around, that there's that whole new shift. And look, that 79th minute try shows that they're still willing to compete to the 80th minute, even when, it doesn't matter. It's a whoever try, really. It has no impact on the game whatsoever. But it shows that the Bulldogs are fighting for each game that they've got. Definitely a team to hopefully look out for next year. But yeah, like you said, they could have easily have won this game had they just sort of stuck to Bulldogs football. I think they got a little bit away from that early on, and yeah, that's when the Panthers sort of assert their identity and say, well, this is who we are, and we're super consistent, set after set. And yeah, like you said, it's just hard done by. Penrith with Nathan Cleary, whole different beast. He's night and day. The out and out best 7 in the comp. And unfortunately, for anyone new to rugby league this season, you are missing out on, I'll call him like Patrick Mahomes-esque level of greatness. He's like, in terms of the NRL, he's like a Kylian Mbappe. He's a Patrick Mahomes. He's everything you want in a player. He's so amazing at what he does, and when he's not there, yes, the team's still successful, but man, he changes the game. He changes the way opposition teams have to factor in, Nathan Cleary. They have to think, oh shit, well, Nate's back this week, so we know the kicking's going to be on point. So we need to make sure that our fullback, our wing, they're able to sort of drop back and pick that ball up in the air or first bounce. They can't let it bounce a couple of times and figure out whether or not they're picking it up or they're going to run with it. They can't be miscommunicating and clash with one another because Panthers pounce, man. They have one of the best kick chasers in the game. You can just tell Cleary's kicks go so high that it gives the Panthers plenty of time to run up and put pressure on all the on the wing and the fullback taking those kicks. So yeah, sad to see him out again. He just come back after another stint on the sideline. This is his second stint on the sideline so far this season. I wish him a speedy recovery, but unfortunately he is out for all of Origin this year. Look, as long as I don't pick Tedesco, I'm staying with the Blues because it's going to be tough to win without Cleary. But as long as I don't pick Tedesco, you got my loyalty, you got my faith. I'm sticking with you. But yeah, look, Panthers. One thing I do know about this team, though, or that I have noticed from this team this season, is that they don't look as unbeatable. They don't look as unbeatable as they have had in recent years. They're still that team that you have to show up and play. You can't just show up and get an easy win. Manly were lucky with that one, but they're a team you have to show up and play week in and week out. But they don't look undefeatable like last year, like the year before. They look like they have weaknesses, but you have to expose them. They're not gonna shoot themselves in the foot and you get an easy win. You have to expose those weaknesses because they will pick you apart.
Yeah, I'll echo what you said with this Penrith team. I think one thing that they've learned on this run is how to win, and they can beat you in so many different ways that that's what makes them so hard. They're a really good front running team. They can chase teams down. They can win dominant fashion or they can win dirty. They've just got all this experience from winning and all these different things that they've been through. Lost so many players, but they're still the standard. Yeah, I think just that wealth of experience. There's not many situations where they feel uncomfortable with. Man, this Penrith team is just next level. They are without doubt a dynasty. I do want to touch on my Bulldogs real quick, and I feel as though we've had a tough draw. We've faced some quite really, really good quality sides. This next 3 weeks is going to test us and prove whether we are a potential top 8 team or middle of the pack or going to head back down to that wooden spoon territory. We have 3 really winnable games coming up, I'm pretty sure. We've got the Raiders, who seem to be a bogey team for us, but I feel we're good enough to beat them. Pretty sure we've got the Dragons coming up and we've got the Eels coming up. So 3 games that us Bulldogs fans are now going to expect them to win and pull it out. And if we want to take the next step, we have to win games that I think we're capable of winning. And these are 3 games that honestly I think we are good enough to get it done. If we can get those 3 wins, we'll put ourselves in a good stead for the second half of the season. But yeah.
100%, and that's all it is. Like we've been saying, you can only play who you play, and you play what's in front of you. If it's injuries, Kaoroha. I mean, you guys were fighting with injuries last season. We've got it this season as part of that Penrith curse, and the Panthers are feeling the pinch of it at the moment. But fortunately for them, they've got a bit of decent depth throughout that team, and they preach a next man up. Doesn't matter who you are, but next man up. We've seen it in the grand final last year when Luai went down, next man up. And yeah, look what happened there. I don't like to talk about that. So moving on. Combank Stadium, Sydney. Parramatta Eels hosted the Brisbane Broncos and it was pouring down. When they say let it rain, it rained. Eels fell short against the Brisbane Broncos, scoring 14-30. There were a couple of tries that were just allowed through, what do they call that? Obstruction. Yes. The decoy runner running into the lead tackler, and then the ball runner taking up that space and scoring tries that way. That was kind of a theme of the weekend, really. There's a whole bunch of inconsistent reffing throughout that. Even in the bunker, they still don't quite get it right. Like, yes, obviously in these situations they did, but there was a game, the Roosters versus the Warriors, where Angus Crichton apparently would have been able to cover that distance and tackle Sean Johnson, but that's a game that I will talk about shortly. Back to the Broncos. I don't know, man. I thought, what's his name? Jacob,
Mr. Nobody
Josh.
Knows guy.
Yeah, Josh
Yep, that's
Rogers.
who he is.
He held his own. He played well enough. I definitely think there will be a position battle between him and Jock Madden. Um, I don't know who will win that. I think Jock will probably get the nod next week to come in and do a job. But yeah, hey, look, he's not Adam Reynolds, but he was serviceable. He did it. He did a solid job there. Whew, how do I talk about the bro? It's good to see him back, man. He almost scored a double last week, maybe even a triple. Few errors, few drop balls, held him back from scoring that. But this night, Friday night, man, it was good to see him score a double. Definitely the fastest player on the Broncos side. He definitely gives Reece Walsh some, what is it, a bang for his buck in terms of the speed. So I don't know, maybe we'll call him the Flash. Dean the Flash Mariner. Damn, he was quick out there. It was nice offload from Jordan Ricky, and he just puts the burners on, man. Leaves Blaze Talangi for dust. I loved watching that. Overall, I thought the Broncos played well. Not grand final top four well. They played well enough to get the win, but I didn't think they, asserted dominance at any point of this game. It felt like, Parramatta could have come back at any point, and, when they scored those disallowed tries because of obstructions, had those gone through, momentum would have shifted severely, and you could definitely see Parramatta gaining some momentum. With them not being allowed those tries, it definitely killed a lot of the momentum for the Parramatta Eels, unfortunately. Them getting the off the board first with the 2 points early definitely seemed like a smart move, but yeah, they couldn't capitalize on that until late in the first and early in the second. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is about this Broncos side. I'm not happy with Corey Oates, man. I'm not happy with Corey Oates.
What did he do this time?
Well, he tries to cover in on the centre, spread wide, boy. You're lucky they weren't allowed that try. Or I'm pretty sure Blaze Talangi scored on him. That was his side. That's where he scored. Because Corey Oates is trying to fucking defend in the middle. You've got to go. I love you. I hate you. You got to go. You're too old. We're moving on. Go to Super League. Fletch and Heine told him already.
They love ripping into him, man.
Bro, he barred up so hard over that too.
Yeah.
Feel bad for the bro. He is a club legend, and there's always going to be a space for him on the team, as long as it's 14, 15, 16, or 17, and not starting. I need to see either Tristan Sailor being brought on, or bring in Jordan Pereira, man. I've been screaming for him for so long. However, I feel like might be what is that thing? Be careful what you wish for.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Be careful what you wish for.
I think out of all of the forwards over the weekend, I do think it was Hopgood that stood out for Parramatta. He's just solid, eh? He's everything you need from a 13. He solid runs, defends really well. He's there when you need him. He's like Patrick Carrigan from Wish. I just added him on Instagram, so I'm going to throw out a DM and try to get the guy on the show. I'm a big fan of Hopgood, actually. Then Rock Solid played another great game. Jordan Ricky had the best game he's had all season. Just defending really well, offloads, just being where you need him to be and doing what you need him to do. That Selwyn Cobbo try. Did you see that try?
Is that the... No, I'm not even going to try.
Man, he just caught the ball. Like, I think it might have been Josh that kicked it across. No one could get at it, and it sort of skimmed across to the centre. Cobbo's about maybe an inch or two away from putting his foot out of bounds. Places his foot. He kind of toe taps. If you watch NFL, you know about toe taps. He toe taps and places that ball on the ground. Now, I know NFL athletes are athletic. They toe tap and catch and fall out. Well, you got to catch that ball and you got to place it on the ground between your legs before you step out of bounds. And man, Salvin Cobo hit that. He got all of that. That was, yeah, for me, that's a try of the season, man, especially for Broncos anyway. Blaze Talangi looked great at fullback, which brings into question, where will he go? He said he is happy at Parramatta, but where do they play him? He's definitely not going to be in the halves because they've got Dylan Brown, Mitch Moses, and he didn't play too well in the halves. Centres is probably the easiest place to put him because you still got Gutho, but he is a fullback. And you know who's got some money? Roosters. You know who's got an aging fullback? Roosters. You know who needs to fill a void at centre currently? Roosters. You know who needs a 6? Roosters. Blaze
Is that
Talangi.
where you think he's going to go, do you?
It could be a pickup. Nah, no way, but damn, they got enough money to compete with Parramatta in terms of like getting that signature. Because where does he go? Where does he go? Does Simonson not play on the wing next year and Lomax starts there? And then does Talangi take out Sean Russell's spot?
To be
Because
honest,
we know Penicity's not going anywhere.
I really wouldn't have a clue where to put him. I just know he's too good for you to let him go. Pretty sure this guy's been earmarked to be the full-time replacement for Gutho for a little bit now.
But how long has Gutho got left in the comp? I feel like Gutho's still got a couple of seasons.
Yeah, I feel he's got some seasons left. Let me just quickly check that for you. Clint Gufferson. Oh, bro, why'd I have to go back to this one? I just seen your name. Where are you? Gutho.
He got their contracts.
Oh, this year, next year. So he could talk to rival teams November 1st.
Blaze or Clint?
So, Clint Gufferson,
Right.
yeah. But Blaze is testing the open market. He's got a play option, which I think he's turned down. So
Yeah.
surely you don't lose both of them, right? You got to keep one. Ideally, you'd keep both.
Well, yeah, in an ideal world.
Yeah.
Blaze is definitely the future.
Yeah.
But he needs to be polished a little bit more.
Yeah.
Gutho is your here and now, but he doesn't have long left. Where do you go? Because Parramatta's already lost Stefano and Lachlan to the Tigers. They don't want to lose Blaze as well.
They will. It's going to be interesting to see what they do next year because Campbell Gillard, I mean, I think he could be someone that leaves,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they need to make a change in that forward pack of theirs.
So where are you hoping he ends up? Bulldogs?
He's a little bit too old. You know what, man? I would not be surprised if he goes back to Penrith.
Yeah, true. Wow, yeah, they got the opening.
I think he wouldn't be the top dog there. I'd imagine if he goes there, he'll be coming off the bench potentially.
Yeah.
That's just, I think I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back. And that'd be pretty cool. But look, in terms of watching the game, their second game on the Friday is just so late. I was already struggling to stay awake for my game. And
You're
to watch
telling
the
me,
Broncos game. Yeah, I know, right? These 10 p.m. games are not it.
Every week.
Not
every
it, team.
week for me.
Yeah. And it also, I'll watch it if I know they're playing a good team. Like, them against Storm, of course I'm going to stay up, watch their game. Roosters, of course I'm going to stay up. But when it's the Eels, and it's this Eels, not the old Eels, who were a dominant team, it just makes me less want to watch it. And I think you guys jumped out to that early lead, and I was like, yep, this is a sign to go to bed. And I wasn't surprised when I woke up next morning and it was 30-14. I thought Ezra Mann had a good game. But yeah, look, to be honest, run-of-the-mill game. I thought you guys do what you got to do. Get the 2 points, get in, get out. Eels, Mitchell Moses cannot get back soon enough. And honestly, if we instead of the Deli M, if we're doing MVP, Mitchell Moses might get my vote just
Oh yeah,
because you see his value when he's not there. It's like, well, clearly he's
100%.
the most important person to that team because look what they look like when he's not there. They look close to a
Yeah,
wooden spoon team.
100%. Because you look at the Knights, no Ponga, but they're still winning.
Yeah.
You look at the Broncos, we had no Reece Walsh, we had no Payne Haas, we had no Adam Reynolds, and we still managed to get wins.
Yeah.
We'll see about Manly, but they were already falling off before Turbo gets injured. So,
but yeah, that's
100%.
Yeah, man, that's all I got.
All right. Well, yeah, that's our game. Eels versus Broncos. Oh, and like we said too, Brisbane pick up the games that you should win if you're Brisbane. They don't really lose those games against the Minnow. Not often, touch wood. We only lose the games to the Big Four, the Storms, the Roosters, the Panthers. Those are our only teams that we've lost to this season, eh? We lost to the Roosters twice, Panthers once, and the Storm. And I'm pretty sure that's all our losses. How many losses have we had? What does it tell me? Doesn't, does it? I have to go to this one. Hold on, let me have a look. I need to have a look. I just need to figure it out now. We've had 4 losses, yeah. So lost to the Roosters, twice to the Panthers, and to the Storm. So that's our 4 losses this season. Over to the first game on Super Saturday. It was the West Tigers taking on the Newcastle Knights. Another wet condition down there in Tamworth. It looked foggy. It looked ugly. Miserable place to play. But they got it done. And look, the Tigers looked interesting in the first half. But then for some unforsaken reason, well, actually, it was a lot of the reffing. For the past 3 weeks, I've seen a lot of inconsistencies in the way the West Tigers have been reffed. There's penalties that get played on. There's people that are getting sent off for God knows what reason. I don't know what it is with the refs this season. I'm not employed by the NRL, so I can say it. But yeah, if I was a fan of the Tigers, I'd be unimpressed with the way this game was officiated. It really kept the Knights in contention. The Tigers definitely looked a better team for the first 20 minutes, and then, penalties start going against your way. You can't defend back-to-back-to-back sets on your own line. The Knights start attacking. And it didn't help having Nathan on the wing. He's not the fastest bloke out there. He's getting torched, man. He's got burned on the outside by Marju, Gay Guy, and them. They were just buffing it. He had no chance, eh? And I think same with that Staines. He wasn't that great out there either.
Can't tackle.
So,
they both can't tackle, man.
Yeah. So the injuries to the Tigers aren't helping them out so far either. A little bit too late for Uppy to get involved in the game. And yeah, Gay Guy, I think, really stepped up. Oh, and Bradman Best, he had a wicked game. This game. Just his ball carrying, dominant, his ability to score, wicked. I think this might be his best season I've seen him play so far. He just looks more confident as a ball player up there. He looks like, another year under his belt, more experience, got IQ, and he knows what he's up to, knows how to get that ball rolling. Gets the team on his back, and his carries from, kicks and stuff to give the forwards a break. Barnstorming. So, yeah, comfortable win for the Knights, I thought. But, yeah, Tigers, hard done by with some dubious calls from the refs. To be honest, NRL referees should be investigated in terms of match betting. Just something to look into. But that's all I've got.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to be honest. If you follow this potty, there's certain games that I just do not care for. This Saturday in particular did not, entice me with the lineup of the NRL games. So I actually ended up watching Super Rugby. It was the same time as the Blues versus Hurricanes top of the table clash. I ended up watching that. And then the game after, I ended up watching the Landers versus Crusaders. I was switching back and forth between the two, and yeah, kind of like you, man. Every time I switched it over, it was Bradman Best freaking just giving. You just said his name, not Staines, the centre
Oh,
for the Tigers.
Toa,
Nah, the other one.
Stafford. Oh, Brent Naden. He was on the wing.
Yeah, well, Nathan, yeah, well, him. Like, I swear to God, he just shredded him. I just remember, like, the few times that I flicked it over, it was just Best, just absolutely
Yeah.
feasting. So I knew he had a good game of sorts. But yeah, look, we talked about it, right? Ponga's been out for a few weeks now, and this team has low-key kind of found their rhythm. They're looking really good, and I think it's because they're doing it as a unit. Key players are stepping up in key positions, so it's not solely on Ponga. I just hope that Ponga's not back this year, right? Is he? Let me
Late
have a look
in
at
the
this quick
season.
list.
Late in the season.
What did it say? Oh yeah, late round 22, they reckon. I
Yeah.
just hope that, like, if he does end up coming back, that they don't revert back to the old way, which is like relying on Ponga to do everything, because they've shown us that they're good enough to win games without him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And they can do it as a collective, and they shouldn't have to rely on him. So,
Which does that really make him a Deli M for last year?
oh look, I think we all know SJ got robbed.
Mm-hmm.
But in saying that, you could make the case that Ponga got robbed in his younger days when it looked like he was going to win it, and RTS won it. So I guess, full circle moment. It's one of those just full circle moment, came out of nowhere. Especially how shit he was at this. Well, not shit, just the whole him at 6 gets concussed,
Yeah.
missed, like he played like what 2/3 of the season, and
Yeah, it still wins apparently.
yeah, well, it's one of those things where the Deli M, probably it's not necessarily who the best player is, but the player that's just the most in form for like the longest period of time. Like when Turbo won his one, right? He
Yeah,
didn't
true.
play every game, but fuck me, like that streak he went on was just unreal. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
just
That was
yes, yeah.
crazy.
So Dali M and the system that they use, I think if they went to an MVP system, it would be different. It would look different. But yeah, it's just a reflection of, I guess, season as a whole. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep it nice and short. Shout out to the Knights for getting it done. They seem well on their way to getting out of their bottom tier, or not going to be there for the wooden spoon. To the West Tigers and to the Brother Vince, if you're listening, shame, shame. He took the double out. His West Tigers lost and your Crusaders lost. Trash.
Ooh,
Good.
ouch.
Hopeless. But yeah, look, I don't know where to go with the West Tigers. I think at this point they're realizing that it's a rebuild and it's got to get
Oh
uglier
yeah.
before it gets better. And this season's pretty much a wrap and done, I would say. But they've got a few players coming over that I think is going to make their team really better. They're pretty much just building for the future. I'd say blood the young bucks if you can, and get them some well needed experience. But yeah, bro, that's pretty much all I've got for that game.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's all about letting the young bucks come through and gain as much experience as they possibly can for next year. I think next year will be the year that they'll have a similar season to what the Bulldogs are having this year, hopefully. So it'll be good to see where they go, where they end up next year. But yeah, this is not your year. Over to the second game on Saturday, another team that should be, well, everyone said they would be the wooden spooners this season, I think, including us.
Yeah.
The Dragons taking on the real wooden spoon of 2024, South Sydney Rabbitohs, and this team just cannot find a way to turn it around. Even with Latrell Mitchell scoring a double and coming back from his suspension, they still can't find a way to get things done. Whereas the Dragons and Zach Lomax just keep the wheels turning. Zach Lomax had a return to form, being out there on the wing again, starting the game off with the opening try scorer, scored 2 penalty goals, 1 2-point field goal just before the cusp of halftime. See, that's a skill that we could use for New South Wales, is that deep kicking ability. That's what I'm thinking. That's why, another reason why we've picked Lomax to be on that team. But yeah, I've been talking about the Dragons all season long as my sort of third team. We joke when I say that, but I don't even know how they became my second team, third team sort of thing. I think it was because of Tyrell Sloan.
Yeah, it was Sloan. You're a big Sloan fan, yeah.
He hooked me in, and he had a great game. Unfortunately for the Bunnies, they've got a plethora of injuries. But good to see Isaac Tuitupo Thompson getting on the board as well. Hopefully that means what's that guy's name? I'll head high.
Tass or Moon? I think it's Moon. Tani Moon?
Yeah. He's the one that just rips off the heads of every player,
Yeah.
Or is it Tass? I can't remember.
I say Tass. It's one of the two.
Yeah, it's one of those two. Jack DeBellin had a great game. He was everywhere, just causing a menace. And obviously they didn't have no Cam Murray to match that intensity, which is why I think DeBellin started over... Who comes off?
I think, was it Eisenhuth?
Mariner.
Oh.
Nah, Eisenhuth got shifted to second row. Mariner comes off.
Oh, is it Mariner?
Yeah, so Mariner comes off. And Sewer moved to 11. Eisenhuth moves to 12. And DeBellin came off and started at lock to, I guess, match the intensity Havili brings, I guess. But yeah, look, Souths are really having to dig into their depth this season. And it was the return of, as Ben Hornby was the coach, eh?
Yes.
To take on his former team, the Dragons, a team in which, he knows fondly. He's a big fan of the Red V, and now to be coaching against them. So, those Dragons boys had to say, nah, not today, bye-bye. And, yeah. When it rains, it pours, Rabbitohs fans. Where do you look next? What do we have to do with the Bunnies? I don't think there's anything you can do. You've had so many injuries. You've had so many chops and changes happening at the club. I think you just got to play the season out. It is what it is. Throw caution to the wind. Try your hand at something. Maybe be a more offloady team. I don't know. Maybe just try and defend a little better. Be there for one another. Man up. Get your fullback to cover across a little bit better. I'm hoping that when Jai comes back, Jay, whatever his name is, he's back in at fullback and they shift Latrell to centre. I just want to see it happen just once. I just want to see if it makes a difference. Please, for all NRL fans, just put Latrell in centre just for one game. If it doesn't go well, if the Bunnies still lose, then put him back at fullback. No harm in it, right?
Because like I was saying, I was watching the Landers get up for their famous victory against the Crusaders. But did Whiten play in the halves, or did he play centre? Who was the half? Or who was the number 7 next to... Who?
Dion Teopa.
Why? Honestly, why not just have them play 6 and 7?
I don't think they have any more centres.
I can chuck us. Oh, because is it Cheekan? Michael Cheekan?
He was playing centre.
He was.
That's what I mean. I think they're run out of players.
Well, the good thing about Magic round, what is it? Round 11? It is, right?
Yeah.
Is that at round 11 you can call in your training trial players? So hopefully that gives them a few more to pick from. But Yeah, man. Look, they might need to start looking at Super League or whatever to. Bro, actually, I heard something. James Tarmo.
He retired.
That's yeah, exactly. Like trying to get him out of retirement just to fill their roster up. It's ridiculous. Like it's looking that bad. Um,
Because how many of their 30 have been injured?
okay. Well, on the injury list, right, you have this is what it's got here. Alex Johnson, Jacob Host, Cameron Murray, Campbell Graham, Tavita Tartola, Jai Gray, Dean Hawkins, Richard Kenner, Lachlan Ilias, Tyrone Munro. 10. You got 10?
Yeah.
You only got top, you what? So your top
You
30,
got 18 players on the team, and you've only
yeah,
got 20 left of your 30. That's only if you've signed all 30.
yeah. So all 30, so yeah, they've signed all 30. 10 of them can't even play. So you can only name from 20. You have to name 18, right?
You've got to
So
name
you've got
everyone you've got.
two players left over. So yeah, it's a recipe for a disaster. I think the only good thing that's going to come of this season is them naming Super Coach Wayne Bennett as the coach for next year. But other than
Has it
that,
been confirmed, though?
I don't know. I mean, it seems like it's confirmed. Ben Hornby's almost confirmed it in his first interview when he was like, "Man, got my first coach, and they already got the new coach lined up." You know, speaking of Wayne. So yeah,
Well,
but
because Wayne's been saying his season with the Dolphins isn't even over. He doesn't have anything planned for next year. He wants to get through this season before he even thinks about next year.
oh, that's a
So,
lie and a half. Because we already know that this is definitely his last season at the Dolphins. They already got their next coach lined up. So yeah, I mean, he's
hey,
saying
and the
that,
way
but
things go for for Wayne's replacements aren't too
yeah,
good. So,
yeah,
Dolphins fans, should we put money on them to be wooden spoons next year? Could be a play. Could be a play.
It could be, but yeah, congratulations to the Dragons on your victory, Rabbitohs. It's not looking good. It's looking like wooden spoon, and if it is, then oh wow, it's what you get. It might be the most stacked team to ever win the wooden spoon. You know, like if you line
Oh
up wooden
yeah,
spoon teams on paper, and this is not like when your Broncos did it, where everyone it was just a
was a
wrong
rookie.
time. People were too
Yeah,
young or too old, not in their prime. You could argue that Latrell Mitchell, Jack White, and superstars of the game in their prime.
Cam Murray.
Cam Murray, prime. Cody Walker, I'd say
Um,
still relatively in his prime. Cook, yeah, on the way out. I'll still go back to
Kolo
say it, man.
Matangi.
Yeah, Claude Matangi, origin player. I still think the minute Campbell Graham wasn't there, I honestly feel as though he's been the biggest loss they've had because he's such a great player. He was a defender. He kind of looked after that side that Lachlan Ilias was there. Then you had the whole Lachlan Ilias situation happen, and he breaks his leg, and then Dean Hawkins gets an injury. It's just all sorts of bad, and this is what happens. But I'll leave it at that. Shout out Dragons and to the Rabbitohs. Yep, just look forward to next season, eh? That's all I
When
got
it
to say.
rains, it pours. When it rains, it pours. And you know what pisses me off is the one week I don't do just head to heads on my multi. Everything that I would have picked hits. Like
Yeah.
I text my cousin because he asked me for my tips for the week. I said Dolphins, Panthers, Sharks, Broncos, Knights, um, Roosters, and Titans would be my upset. He goes, "What? You don't reckon the Warriors will be the upset this week?" I was like, "They need to be, but nah." So I'm highly disappointed. I didn't back myself, but I guarantee if I backed myself, Warriors probably would have won or some shit like that. So yes, over to Saturday night, and yes, the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks beat their host Melbourne Storm in Melbourne on Saturday night, 25-18. This was quite a good game, actually. The Storm got off to a fast start, but then the Sharks closely matched it because for the first, 17 minutes, it was going back and forth, set for set. Um, Sharks looked the more promising team, but it just looked like they didn't have that flair to get over the line in some points of the game. And then, yeah, sure enough, Melbourne scored the first try. And then for some reason, Sharks go, oh, we can score now. And then they come back in the 23rd minute. And then, yeah, Melbourne score another try to push themselves out a little bit more. And then Kafusi follows that up, and then Sharks, they score the first try in the second half. And then Melbourne try and equalise that, and then, yeah, Sharks take it out in the end. They also had a sin bin for Harry Grant, which didn't help the cause for Melbourne at halftime. Going into the Sheds 12 all, it was, yeah, definitely everything you want from a top of the table clash. This was first place v second place. First place Sharks v second place Melbourne, which I think now would put Penrith in second and Melbourne in third after that loss, potentially. And Sharks the outright one. For the Sharks, with the late injury to Nico Hines, because when we picked this, Nico Hines was still playing. We didn't realize, what was it, Thursday's show, we still saw the lineup and Nico was still named, but then Saturday they moved their hooker, Blake Brayley, to 7, McInnes from from lock to hooker, sorry. Jack Williams off the bench into lock. So a few people got shuffled around, but I guess when you got bloody Thomas Hazelton just ripping through the middle, Tague Wilton, Brighton Nikora, Jesse Ramian, even Kale Edel had a good game. We talk about MVPs and we talk about teams, they just know how to get shit done, they know how to win. Sharks are looking sharp. We said once they smell blood in the water, they keep going, and it's been another example of that in this game. Melbourne, unfortunately, are missing key players: Jerome Hughes, Xavier Coates. I don't know who else. Jack Howarth managed to get on the interchange, so they must be missing someone else. But like to always says, week in and week out, you play who you play. Sharks played this Melbourne. Fortunately for them, they get the win there. It is what it is, but good on your Sharks. Just keep on rolling, because next week I think you'll have a decent matchup where you take on the Sydney Roosters. So that's one I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye out for. That's all I've got on Sharks and Storm, brother.
Yeah, we thought this was going to be the clash of the week, and then find out Hughes is out. Actually, we knew it wasn't going to be as good as what it could have been with the injury to Pep and Hughes in. And then with Jerome Hughes already being out, so we were a little bit gutted about it. And then come to find out Nico Hines isn't playing, then it's like, that kind of, to me, swung it back in the Storm favour. But kudos to the boys, man. Daniel Atkinson, former Storm player, went back to the old AMI Park and showed them what's up, pretty much. Had a hell of a game from what I heard, and ended up getting the max points for the Deli M. Once again, I was pretty much drunk at this point. Didn't really watch it, but I did expect, with Nico Hines out, for the Storm to win, and it kind of seemed like I've been saying, I want to say they find ways to win, or they do find ways to win, but to me, it always felt like their luck would run out eventually. And it looked like it was the Sharks that did it to them, right? They super back and forth game. Atkinson gets the drop kick 73rd minute to put them up, 19-18. And then, of course, it's Munster does that kind of nothing kick at the end. And who was it that caught that ball? Was that Mulitalo that got it? And then they pretty much went not length of the field, but it was from the kickoff that Talakai scored the game winner and pretty much ended it. But yeah, I don't really want to talk much about this game. What I do want to talk about is that sin binning. That looks like it's a what do they call it? A line in the sand moment. You cannot make contact of the foot, even if it's marginal at best. That's clearly what they're trying to stamp in, and it's giving Magic round. I want to say 2020, or it might have been the first Magic round. Do you remember? You might remember the year, but do you remember they had a Magic round, and it was that year where like they cranked down where pretty much if you just brushed someone's face, it was automatic 10 in a bin. And Victor Raleigh got sin bin like 3 times in one game. And that was on the Friday night of Magic Round. And from then on out, everyone knew if you ever make contact with the head at all, like you could go chest first. If your arm slid up, it was going to go 10 in the bin. And I'm pretty sure every game Saturday, there was someone that got put in the bin. By Sunday, teams had kind of figured it out. So a lot better. But that Magic Round was just known as 10 in the bin. Just went stupid. And it's funny to me, it seems as though refs pick certain rounds to like show you this is how we're going to calling it, this is how we're going to stamp this out of the game, and it seems like this is the next one they're stamping out of the game. You cannot touch the kicker, you cannot touch their legs. It will be 10 in the bin, no matter how severe or how marginal the contact may be. What are your thoughts on it, bro?
Yeah, well, look, speaking on that, there was a couple of inconsistencies in that Warriors game because they missed that as well. I'm pretty sure it was, what's his name? Walker. He put in a kick and had his toe tapped, and they played on, and he laid on the ground like holding his leg because his leg got interfered with. Nothing happened. Nothing became of it. I think it's situational, and it's team bias. There's definitely some teams that cop it more than others, but yeah, I do think it's something that they are trying to stamp out of the game because there are a lot of people just taking out kickers, colliding with the knees. There have been a lot of knee injuries from some of those. What is it like? Kick pressure.
Yeah.
So I understand where it's coming from, but things like in Harry Grant's case, that was kind of BS. Similar to, was it Jesse Bromwich's on report for high-fiving, whose face did he high-five? Tom Trebojevich's, and he barely, like he brushed his eyebrow. He didn't even, there's no impact, there's no malice. He brushed the eyebrow as he was kind of pulling his hand away from the facial area. So, yeah, I don't know. Refs, they need to stop making this game all about them. And I know the NRL said that, players can't talk down on referees the way they did last weekend. I know Casey Badger got a copping last weekend because of her poor officiating. And lo and behold, round 10 comes around. She's reffing against the Warriors, the Roosters. Same shit. She's got to go. But you know why she's protected?
Why?
You know who her husband is?
I have no idea.
Referee Gavin Badger.
Gavin Badger, what does that name ring about?
Senior referee. He's been a referee. He's been a referee in the NRL for years. He's another tosser that I can't fucking stand. What match did he referee? I know he's out there somewhere. Or is he retired now? He definitely needs to retire. He was like the Ashley Klein before Ashley Klein.
Oh.
He's an absolute arsehole. I can't stand him. Maybe he is. He's like the Jared Sutton of the day. Like, he's just one of those referees that you don't
want to.
Yeah. There he is. He was a senior. Oh, no. He must be retired. Is he retired?
Will not have a clue.
No, but he's an Indigenous ref. But yeah. Anyway, look, his wife, terrible. Not a fan. Chuck your whistle out the gate. You should have been a player instead of a referee, because it says here in her Wikipedia she had to choose between being a referee and a player. She chose the wrong career. I'm sorry, I said it. I said it. I don't care. I don't care. I got a voice. I'm allowed to use it. She missed how many calls? Angus Crichton, he probably could have been in Team of the Week for his tries. You know, he played outstanding, but he tripped a player. He had multiple obstructions, and that tripped player, he didn't even go off. He didn't even go off. Just,
oh man!
and it was a late on report sort of bullshit. It was only because they had to look at it. There was a time where I think it was 3 professional fouls back to back on the Roosters try line. Should have been a penalty try. But she goes, 10 again, like 6 again, sorry. Start from the 10, tap and go, your ball. I'm like, come on, bitch. It's fucking, you've got to call it at some point. What are you just going to let them keep fucking up? Are you just going to keep playing on? Like, what kind of agenda do you have against the Warriors? They're already battered and beaten. Ed Cussy can't catch a cold. Fuck, he was terrible. It was like, a lot of people were saying it was Pompey, but I think it was just because they didn't know that Ed Cussy was out there. They thought Pompey was on the wing. So my cousins would text me like, bro, Pompey's fucking shit. Why is he back? I was like, bro, he's actually playing all right. He's in the centre. It's Ed Cussy who's on the wing who can't make the reads. And they're like, who? I'm like, yeah, Ed Cussy. And then after he got his try, they were like, oh, no, he's mean. I was like, no, that's just like a fluke. He's not actually that good. I'm unsure about their decision to start Freddie Lussick. Was Wade Egan carrying an injury into that? Who knows? Also, Luke Keary with the chicken wing. That should have been 10 in the bin. She just goes on report, play on. And Sean Johnson was injured for the rest of that game, which Webby should have pulled him out a little bit sooner. But hey, it is what it is. Can't go back. But yeah, she needs to be reprimanded. Sorry, I can't call you, but you, come on, I'm just passionate. I don't give a fuck. It is what it is. You're reffing like a male-dominated sport that, you know, fans get super passionate and they say shit that they don't really mean. But Casey Badger, you are a terrible referee. You and Adam G, who was in the fucking TMO, whatever they call them, the bunker, both of you, shove your whistles up your ass, quit your jobs. You suck at it. 100%. You are terrible. You've got the special power of video replay. Fucking use it. Fucking use it. How can you miss blatant shit week in and week out? And then here's the one that cracks me up is Angus Crichton. He's about, 5-6 meters away. Lead runner, yes, runs into his chest, but they reckon he can catch Sean Johnson, who scores 5-6 meters away. You think Angus Crichton's covering that space 3 meters out? I don't think so. You got to use smarts here. Adam G, have you ever played footy? Have you ever seen Angus Crichton tackle Sean Johnson 5 meters out? He'll go bang, whack him, and he's scoring anyway. Even if he was inside, he would have just left foot step and go right, and he would have planted that ball. That should have been a try. That would have shifted momentum a little bit. I don't know if they would have won off of that, but hey, keep reffing consistent. You were terrible last week, Casey. You're terrible this week. NRL need to fine referees. If players are getting fined post-match, referees should be also getting fined post-match. So if you miss like a blatant send-off, like every referee should have a debrief after these games. The NRL should have an independent reviewer that goes, okay, so this should have been a send-off. This should have been a send-off. This was a missed call. That was a missed call. You are now fined X amount of dollars, because if players aren't allowed to back chat to the ref, if they can't dispute what they say, if they can't get their point across with the referees without going, no, don't talk to me like that. Okay, 10 in the bin for you, back chat. What are we supposed to say to the referees? How can this game be regulated if the referees aren't trying to overtake this game and have their own agendas pushed? Because we all know that they're all gambling on this shit. We all know Casey's got money in it. Her and her fucking husband, I bet you. Look into it in NRL. That's all I've got to say on that game. I don't even care about the score.
Yeah, I was late to the party on the Wales Roosters game, man. And by the time I turned it on, the game was already over. I think it was 22-0 or whatever it was. They just got blitzed at the start, and when you're facing a classic team like that, there's just no coming back. But yeah, look, that ref, I kind of
It's
give
2 weeks in a
her
row.
like not as harsh because she was the ref for our game against the Tigers, and yeah, she kind of lost way in that game, but obviously because we won, I was also like, oh, she wasn't that bad, you know. So
Terrible calls then too,
yeah,
eh?
yeah. But when it happens 2 weeks in a row, I don't know. It's a
Where do you draw the line? Where do you draw
yeah.
the line before they get dropped?
It's look.
It's
There are
because her
certain
husband.
jobs, right, that are like thankless jobs. Honestly, I think the best refs would be ex-players. So trying to funnel players that are on, like thinking about retirement, trying to get them into those refereeing pathways, I think it's the best. But man, it's hard to be a ref, and because being a ref, right, is such a thankless job. Like you're never gonna get oh, you did a great game, ref. Never. Someone's always gonna say
Yeah.
you missed a call, blah blah blah. So the shit that they have to go through and deal with, I don't think anyone wants to do, right? So that's probably half the reason why it's hard to get refs. One, and then secondly, to get refs that are of good quality and good caliber and know how to, I'd say, not control a game, but know how to like manage a game to the points where it's the players deciding the outcome, it's the teams, and they're not being overshadowed. Um, that's hard. It's tough. And then even when I remember there was a former Māori player who was a ref for years. Um,
So that Peranara.
yeah, but then he had like two bad games, and he just got shredded. And I think but it was like a big game. I think it might
Yeah.
have been a playoff. And then yeah, just pretty much, I don't know if that was like the final straw,
But yeah,
but
it's up.
yeah, it adds up. But I don't know, man. Like it was cool to see like the women get a chance refereeing the games because I do think some of them are good enough. But yeah,
Well,
when you
you
get
look
this
at
back to
Belinda
back,
Sharp. Belinda
mm,
Sharp, amazing referee.
yeah,
Calls it as it is.
yeah,
Takes no bullshit. She's one of the best in the game.
yeah, I think that lady just when players aren't on form, right, they get dropped. In the NRL, if you aren't doing good, you get dropped back down to New South Wales Cup, right? And then when you're caught again, you come up and hopefully you've learnt your lesson, or not learnt your lesson, but like you had that moment, you kind of get dropped, and you realize in that moment, like, oh man, these NRL games, they don't come around too often. So like, if I ever get my chance again, I hope that I don't do the same mistake again, or I hope I take full advantage. Maybe that's what this ref needs to just go back down, ref a couple lower grade games, just to get one away from the spotlight, but also build up her confidence too, because it might be a confidence thing at this point. I do agree that chicken wing on Sean Johnson, that wasn't a natural movement. I don't think, and I think he did it
Nah.
on. I don't think Luke Keary's a dirty player, but that was a dirty play. You know,
Yeah.
that
And that was the
was
second dirty play of
yeah.
that game. There's another time where he's pushed
Oh
players
yeah.
out of the way for runners to get through. I sent you
Yeah,
the
yeah,
clip
yeah.
of
You
that.
sent me the thing. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, again, I don't think it's a dirty player, but man, that's a dirty play, and to me, that was with intent. And did he
Yeah.
get put on report for that?
Yeah, and he only gets like a $1,400 fine.
Did he only get fined in the end?
Yeah,
Look,
yeah. I'm pretty
this
sure he's
is
only got fined.
what's gonna happen. I think if more plays like that happen, where it's that kind of chicken wing. They've already tried to stamp out the chicken wing, right? We know that because of obviously what happened with who was it? The Storm. Were kind of the first to do it, but refs didn't know how to officiate it because they didn't know what they were seeing, right? Didn't know what to look for. And now everyone, well, now they know what to look for, and that so they can call it. that chicken wing might be one as well, especially if it's going to be like that, where it's not such an obvious one, but that's not a normal motion for him to. What it seemed like was that he got under his arm right and pretty much drove it back, which means you're putting a
Yeah.
player in a vulnerable position.
Yeah, so Suwali and Carey are only getting fines with early pleas. So
tough.
Suwali is charged with dangerous contact after raising a knee after he's about to be tackled by Wade Egan.
Oh, is he back to raising the leg?
Yeah. And yeah, what's his name? Then Crichton is getting a $1,000 fine for tripping Dallin. And yeah, it doesn't say how much Carey's getting, but yeah, it's only getting fines for all the Roosters boys. No one's actually getting any match bans by the looks. Or maybe Sandon Smith. He gets grade 2 dangerous contact charge.
Oh, that is tough. But yeah, look, the Warriors, although they're looking a lot like the Warriors, and you were so high on them at the start. Are we still on, or are you off?
Look, man, they've got a lot of injuries. If they can hold out a couple of these games moving forward in the next couple of weeks, just hang on. Season's not quite over, but it depends on how long Sean Johnson's out for. That will dictate a lot of where their season goes. And hopefully they're never getting reffed again by fucking I can't go too hard on it. Like Casey Badger, Gavin's wife. I'll call her from now on. The most useless ref in the NRL currently. And it's no hate on female referees because Belinda Sharp, like I said, is probably one of the best refs in the game at the moment. And I have no problem with how she calls games. She calls it fair and down the middle and doesn't seem to miss too much. Am I off the bandwagon? Yeah. Nah, look, I'll ride the wagon to the next 3 stops. And can you guys please stop bringing out new uniforms? Can you just get a win before you bring out another jersey? Please and thank you. But yeah, that's it from me. Are you on the wagon or are you off the wagon, man?
Look, I guess truly I was never on like you were, but that's because I had a high expectations of them. They have kind of fallen short, which has been disappointing. But I'll always have a soft spot for them. I do think, can they turn it around? It's looking less and less likely with all these injuries, man. But just want to give props to the Roosters, getting it done once again. They are starting to look like the team we all thought they could be and would be, and that means it's looking dangerous for the rest of the NRL. But again, see what they do when they face Penrith or when they face the Storm or the Sharks. But I'm happy to leave it there. The Wars, I don't know what they're going to do, man. I might just let them be them and then move on to this last game of the week.
Hard. Well, before we do, who is your second team?
Oh, that's a good question, eh?
And don't pick someone who's just winning.
No, I kind of go through ebbs and flows, eh? Like, it kind of depends on more so players for me. Like, there was a time there where I really liked watching the Storm. I don't know why. I've always been a fan of teams that Sean Johnson have been on. So when he was with the Sharks, I loved watching them. And since he's been with the Wars, I've been watching them more. Roosters, I don't mind them because they got Joey Manu. Yeah, I wouldn't say I have like a definitive second team, but I've just got like a few teams, like 2 or 3 teams that I keep tabs on. I do like Penrith because I like their style of play and they're just really exciting to watch. So, yeah, I wouldn't say one, but just a few different teams and more players. Like, if I like players, I'll watch that team. If there's players I don't like, I will not watch your team. So it kind of just depends. And that can change in 2 on a dime. But if I say that or maybe this is my second team, and bit of a cop out maybe. But all I know is that if my team doesn't win, which Bulldogs we're not gonna win, and I don't see us winning anytime soon. I've always said that I want the same team winning, mainly because if the same team wins, it also means your team don't win. And if both our teams don't win, then who's winning? Who cares that your team made the final and my team finished second to last? Same as far as I'm concerned. So obviously, I'm wanting, if the Bulldogs don't win, I want Penrith to win, and I want them to continue the reign of dominance. More so, just so that stops everyone else than them winning. So yeah, if I had to say, I'd probably say them, followed thirdly by the Wars. If Penrith don't win, then if I had to pick another team, not Bulldogs, not Penrith, it would be the Warriors. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. It was Broncos, Warriors, Dragons. Well, the Dragons have just moved up the power ranking. The Wars are close to. I'm close to my bus stop. But yes, let's head over to the final game of the round. It's Seabus Super Stadium on the Gold Coast. It's a Queensland battle. We'll call it a battle and a derby. Y'all don't want a premiership. The Titans taking on the Cowboys, and I told you, man, them Titans, they're starting to build up some momentum. We've been saying Cowboys are shaky. They're shaky, and Titans have been slowly building up some momentum, finding some decent form of late. However, this game was a game of two halves. In the first half, I think the Titans had 100% completion rate to the Cowboys 68%, I think it was when I saw it on the TV. And it really did show. The Titans started out with an early penalty, getting 2 points on the board early, and then Cowboys had a lot of attack. But they keep fumbling it, or they just couldn't capitalize over the goal line. And the Titans, man, they just bowled their way upfield, or they get an early penalty, they get a few six agains, and then Jojo Fafita scores. And then this was funny too, because David Fafita, when he scored in the 24th minute, probably could have scored the play before, but I think it was Brimson dummy to him and try to go himself, and then gets tackled. They're about 2-3 meters out from the line. David Fafita pushes whoever was going into dummy half, grabs the ball himself, and just nuggets his way over, and he's over for the try. And then Brimo gets a try. That's all in the first half. Brian Kelly converts all three conversions, and now we're at 20-0 going into half time. The second half is a stalemate. They're going tit for tat. No one's scoring. The defense is good on both sides. There's attacking opportunities. They just fall a bit short. And then all of a sudden, the tides turn. Nanai scores in the 60th. And I'm like, yeah, sweet. Nah, there's only 20-odd minutes to go. If Titans hold on here or they get one more score, that's game over. And then the Cowboys looked really dominant in that last 10 minutes. They were rolling down the field easily. And then Nana gets over for the 74th. And I'm like, shit. Titans need to like kick deep and have a solid defensive set this next set of six. They need to stand up and they need to hold on to that ball. 3 minutes later, Cole Felt's over the line. Now it's 2018. And in that last 3 minutes, it didn't look like Cowboys wanted to go for a 2-point kick. They wanted to score a 6-pointer, to which they almost did. So huge credit to the Titans defense at the end on that last play, but where were you? You almost got warriored. That happened to the Warriors against Melbourne. You almost got warriored, bud. Just letting in. It's a thing now, man. If you lose in the last 10, 20 minutes of a game, you got warriored.
Wow.
Hey, man, like, you know how Randy Moss used to do when he'd moss you? Yeah. Well, you got warriored. You almost got warriored here, Titans. Thankfully, you managed to hold on, and you got your second win or third win of the season so far, eh?
I think it's the second. Did they have the bye? Yeah, because they had the bye, right? Yeah, they're on 6 points, I believe.
Yeah, no, they lost to the Storm last week by 2 points. That's right. That was a close loss too.
Yeah.
And it was a close win this week. I think all of their games for the past 6 games have been close games, wins and losses. Titans, man, y'all know how to give your fans a heart attack. But I'll throw it over to you to give us your thoughts on this game.
Well, as you know, if you've been following this podcast, when it comes to Queensland versus Queensland games, where I'm at, which is I don't really care unless it's the Broncos. This game is no different. Did I even watch it? I watched like a bit of it the
Probably not.
first half. I seen the Fafita try. AJ Brimson just is looking good out there. Yeah, I kind of thought it was being a landslide. I think I fell asleep again actually, and then when I woke up and seen the score at the end, that they had just held on to win. I was a little bit surprised. Thought they were going to go on with it, but that's maybe a shout out to the Cowboys and their resiliency to be down by that big of a margin and to come back and, like you said, to almost get warriored. That's definitely not it, not how you want to go. But it is what it is. But look, Titans, they held on, they won the game, but I think it came at a price, right? Reading the injury reports, which I just took down, super annoying. Brimson might not be playing this round, upcoming round, Magic round, and also Kieran Foran might be out. I just know
Damn.
they got a few injuries, so it's looking like, yep, they got the win, but at what cost? Because it looks like they're going to be short a few.
Damn, instead of
On
getting
the...
Warrior, they got Thanos. What did it
Yeah,
cost? Everything.
Yeah, let me just see it real quick. Where is it? Oh no, Jaden Campbell might be back. Round 11 it says here. Oh, Tanner Boyd, but he missed the last game, because he was injured. Yeah, so
Yeah.
AJ Brimson, groin injury, to be confirmed. Kieran Fawn, hamstring, to be confirmed. Philip Sami, hamstring, to be confirmed. And Harley Smith-Shields, pectoral, he might be done for the season. So you got 4 players that played in that game, and they could be out for this one. So it came at a big loss, but take those 2 points where you can. So congratulations to the Titans. They are looking better each week. They do have momentum, but when you need AJ, to me it looks
Yeah.
like he's all class, and you also need David Fafita, because he doesn't even need a quick play the ball when it's a meter out. He just needs play the ball. I feel as though, bro, because he's left side, right? He's on the same side
Yeah.
as Foreign. I feel as though if that play the ball is like even underneath the smack bang middle of the post, he'll come from the left side, move the hooker, and be like, I got it. If it's left, like even a centimeter left of the post, oh yeah, that's him. He's gonna be like, no, get out of my way, because he does it all the time, right? Literally, the hooker's there, and he's just like grabs him, my ball.
He just pushes him out.
Pushes him out of the way. Give me that ball, And it's not like everyone, we all know what you're gonna do, but when you're that dominant, we all know what you're gonna do. He can still score. Shows the class of the man. But
it is what it is, It's like the Philadelphia Eagles tush push, 1 yard to go. You know what's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Stop it. That's David Fafita.
But yeah, man, that's really all I've got for that game. Really.
Yeah, man, and that wraps up round 10 of the NRL. It's been a huge weekend. Not so many upsets this weekend, I don't think, if any. I think the Titans would be the closest thing to an upset this weekend, but even then, they've been on a roll. Let's head over to our power rankings, presented by 99 Dreams, empowering others to chase their dreams. Now, our power rankings aren't reflective of the NRL ladder. They're based on the opposition, who they play, how they play, their form, their momentum, so on and so on and so on. Starting from the bottom to the top, we will go. So last place in 17th, same as last week, we have got the South Sydney Rabbitohs at 16th, same as last week. Parramatta Eels at 15th, same as last week. The West Tigers Falling one spot from 13th to 14th, we've got the New Zealand Warriors. Just above them, falling from 9th to 13th, is the North Queensland Cowboys. Because the Raiders had the bye this week, they stay put at 12th. Moving up from 14th to 11th, the St. George Illawarra Dragons. And down from 7th to 10th, we've got the Manly Warringah Sea Eagles coming in at 9th. Up from 11th, we've got the Newcastle Knights. Just above them at 8th, again, one spot above their mates, the Gold Coast Titans. Just above them, up one spot from last week, the Brisbane Broncos in at 7th. Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs hold on to that 6th spot this week. So do the Dolphins at 5th. The Roosters stay steady at 4th. The Melbourne Storm stay steady at 3rd. Penrith dropped to 2nd, with the Sharks taking that number 1 spot after their victory over the Melbourne Storm. Those are our movers and shakers for round 10 of the 99 Dreams power rankings on the practice run. Now heading over to the practice run team of the week, presented by... I never have anything in here to present it by. Let's go presented by Specsavers. What is Specsavers logo?
I wouldn't have a clue. Just a pair of glasses, isn't
it? Yeah, go to Specsavers for your spectacle needs. I don't actually shop at Specsavers, LOL. I go to OPSM, but Specsavers. Yeah, choice. Anyway, checking out our team of the week this week. Do you want to do? Did you write this down?
No, I didn't actually.
Oh, that's all good. I'll rattle them off this week. We'll get through this. It's been a long one. We're already upwards of an hour and 40 minutes, so we'll wrap things up. Okay, so coming in at fullback, we've got the Dolphins fullback Trey Fuller. On the wings, we've got Dom Young, who tore up the Warriors, and Dean Mariner. Dean, what do we call him? Dean the Flash. He's the Flash. Dean Mariner. In centres, we got Sharks Jesse Ramian and Bradman Best, who tore up the Tigers over the weekend. Another Shark making this list, but this time it isn't Nico. It is Daniel Atkinson. And at halfback, we've got the Roosters, Sam Walker, prop Payne Haas, and Moake Futueka. At hooker, we've got Cam McInnes playing out of position this week, but not really. It's his old position. In the second row, we've got the hooker, David Fafita, playing in his second row. Then we've got Isaiah Papali'i, who was named at lock but played in the second row for the Tigers. And coming in at lock, we've got Jack DeBellin. That is your practice runs team of the week for round 10. Oh, sorry, this was a bit of a longer one. Whānau, we had to get through those State of Origin lineups. But hey, that is our episode for today. Thank you all so much. I'm going to throw it over to two. That's it from me.
Yeah, as always, we'd like to thank those who are watching both near and far. We really do appreciate the support. If anyone else who wants to join our community, you are more than welcome. The more, the merrier. I will be here on Thursday for that potty. We will be doing our classic preview of the round. We will know what the team list will be out by then. And we'll see if there are any suspensions or any more injuries. But yeah, it has been a long one, but you know, we'll get in there, and we just love the support from everyone. Feel free to give us a like on all of our social medias, comment as well. I believe we still got a hat to give away for comments. Hey, if you want it, man, just you know what to do.
You know what to do.
Yeah, but other than that, man, we will leave it there. See everyone on Thursday. Until then, be safe and look out for one another. Cheers to the cheer. Mā te wā.